Scary story, lost in the haunted woods, a terrifying night to remember. A wind, a razor's edge against exposed skin, howled through the skeletal branches. It bit deep, promising a cold that seeped into the very bones. These woods, ancient and gnarled, held secrets older than time itself. Their silence was a lie, a mask for the terrors that lurked within. Whispers clung to the air, carried on the wind. They spoke of shadows and things that hunted in the dark, things best left undisturbed. Sarah, fueled by youthful arrogance, scoffed at the local legends. She and her friends, blinded by bravado, dared each other to venture deep. Ignoring the weathered signs and the hushed warnings of the townsfolk, they plunged into the heart of the Whispering Woods. They thought it was just a story. The woods had earned its name, a place where the trees themselves seemed to murmur warnings, a chorus of dread that went unheeded. As dusk bled into night, the woods transformed. The familiar paths twisted, becoming a labyrinth of shadows and fear. The trail, once clear, vanished beneath a carpet of decaying leaves. Hope dwindled with each step, replaced by a growing sense of dread. The trees, their branches like skeletal arms, clawed at the sky. They seemed to watch, to judge, their silence more menacing than any scream. Voices, faint and chilling, echoed through the trees. They whispered names, promises of pain, a psychological torment that chipped away at their sanity. Panic, a cold wave, washed over them. They were lost, alone, and utterly at the mercy of the woods. The beams of their flashlights, once bright, flickered and dimmed. Their limited visibility offered little comfort in the oppressive darkness. The forest floor became a treacherous maze of roots and fallen branches. Each step was a gamble, each stumble a reminder of their vulnerability. One by one, the flashlights sputtered and died, plunging them into absolute darkness. The world shrank to the space around them, filled with unseen horrors. Screams erupted, raw and primal, tearing through the silence. The darkness had become a tangible thing, a suffocating blanket of fear. A guttural growl, low and menacing, echoed through the trees. It was a sound that promised pain, a sound that chilled them to the core. Twigs snapped nearby, betraying the presence of something large, something unseen. The air grew heavy, thick with anticipation. A heavy thud shook the ground, a sound that resonated deep within their chests. It was close, too close, and growing closer. A cold breath, foul and fetid, brushed against Sarah's neck. It was an intimate violation, a terrifying reminder that they were not alone. They felt it then, the malevolent gaze of something ancient and evil. They were being watched, hunted, by something that reveled in their fear. Huddled together, they were a fragile island of fear in a sea of darkness. Their shared terror offered little comfort, only a shared doom. The growls intensified, circling them, closing in. The creature was toying with them, savoring their fear before the final strike. Two glowing eyes, burning like embers, pierced the darkness. They were the eyes of a predator, cold and merciless, filled with ancient hunger. A blood-curdling scream shattered the night as one of them was dragged away. The sound was cut short, leaving only silence and the echo of terror. Paralyzed with fear, they could only watch as their friend was taken. They were helpless, trapped in a nightmare from which there was no escape. Primal instinct took over, overriding reason and fear. Sarah knew she had to run, to escape, to survive. She turned and fled, blindly crashing through the undergrowth. Every step was a desperate gamble, a prayer for salvation. Branches tore at her skin, roots tripped her, but she kept running. The sounds of pursuit faded behind her, offering a temporary reprieve. The first rays of dawn broke through the trees, painting the sky with a fragile hope. Sarah stumbled out of the woods, battered and broken. Disoriented and traumatized, she could barely comprehend what had happened. The night had left an indelible mark, a scar that would never heal. The memories of that night haunted her every waking moment. The screams, the growls, the glowing eyes, they were forever etched into her mind. She carried the burden of memory, the guilt of survival, the knowledge of what she had witnessed. It was a weight that would crush her spirit. Forever lost in the shadow of the whispering woods, Sarah would never truly escape the terror of that night. The woods had claimed her, even as she lived. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, thumbs up, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications.